This is a great example of a question where if you practice the SAT and you learn to recognize what they're testing, you're going to have a much easier time of this than someone who doesn't do that and just kind of treats it like whatever sounds best every time and hasn't really thought through the way the SAT structures things. So basically what we're trying to do here is to accurately predict the question. What are they really asking of us? If we don't know, then we're just going to go with whatever sounds best, and that's not always going to work. It might here, but we really want to know if there's some sort of overarching rule that we need to use or what. And the choices are a big clue. So if I look at these choices, I notice, oh, they look like different tenses. Whoa. They look like different tenses, right? We've got have contributed, contributes, are contributing, past, present. I don't know what's going on, but there's certainly different verb tenses. However, that's the inexperienced version, right? That's what someone who doesn't practice, who hasn't seen a lot of SAT questions thinks. It's not about that. It's not about tense here. It could be, but we should always want to look first at verb agreement, thinking about verbs as singular or plural. Because if we do that, then we are more likely to eliminate some trap answer choices right away. So what does that mean? Well, words like are contributing maybe are really easy to notice that are is a plural verb, so it is a plural choice. Have is also plural. A and C are very similar, but the rule is that singular verbs end in S. So contributes is singular. Singular verbs end in S. Singular verbs end in S. And now that's weird because we normally associate the letter S with plurals, right? That's how nouns work. But for verbs, it's kind of the opposite. And your brain actually knows this. Just think of simple sentences. And your brain will do that for you, right? If I said, the dog barks loudly, right? It's barks with an S. The dog barks loudly, one dog. But if I said, the dogs, multiple dogs, I would say the dogs bark loudly. No S on bark. And that's because that's the plural verb. And plural verbs do not get S's, singular verbs do. So use simple sentences. But here, what we want to do is we want to kind of ask the same question. What's doing the action? That's what our verb needs to agree with. So there's another little trap here. They want you to think that landfills contribute to the release of methane. It's kind of structured that way, and that would be plural. And so that would mean that A, B, or D are right. But that's not the actual subject. The actual subject is organic material. Notice how the sentence is structured. That is sent to landfill as almost like a little extra information that we could put in parentheses if we wanted to. It's descriptive, but it's not grammatically relevant. It tells us more about the thing that we're actually talking about, which is organic material. That's the subject of the sentence. Now, is that singular or plural? Well, it's material, not materials, right? So that indicates that it is singular. And so if it's singular, if it's a singular subject, then we need a singular verb to match with it. And that's how this rule works, is we need things to line up. We need consistency. So we are matching a singular verb with a singular subject, and suddenly the thing that we thought might matter, the tense of the verb, doesn't matter, because all of the others are plural. So they can't be right, because the tense is not the problem. The singular plural is the problem. And this is why, again, practicing for the SAT, exposing yourself to lots of questions is really helpful. People who don't practice are just going to be on the wrong track the entire time they do this question. They'll be thinking about tense, when what they actually want you to think about is singulars and plurals. So most people miss the very thing that the question is about because they're not used to the way the SAT does things. So when you see that verbs are kind of the issue in a choice, what you should think about first is singulars and plurals. A lot of the time, that's going to be all you need to think about and you're just done. If it doesn't get you everywhere, that get you everything that you need, then that's okay. Then we have verb tense to help us out and do the rest. But you should always start with singular plural because a lot of the time you're going to just be done with the question and you'll have avoided the traps that they want to set for you. So just keep that in mind. We want to predict the question accurately so that our brain is on the right track as we answer the question.